All right, so hi Taurus. This one is for you. This is Star Illumination with your general report for December 2017. Okay, you know the routine. We've done this before. Watch for your sun, moon, rising, all that stuff. That's the convention here with tarot, apparently. We're not doing any jumpers, flyers, oracles, no reversals, none of it. It's just trying to keep it as simple as possible, okay? And you can reinterpret however you want. I know a lot of you are very advanced and you can read your own stories here, okay? So please do so, okay? Take full advantage of this forum. I'm going to read from Heart Journey of the Heart spread that I like to use. And you'll see how it works as we go through, okay? So for you, Taurus, of course, you've got this big monster Jupiter and Scorpio thing going on over in your 7th house now for the next year or so. So it's a very big deal when it comes to relationships. This is not a love and relationship report. That's going to be another playlist, okay? But please know that the area of your contracted one-on-one relationships, significant others, the most important, let's basically not just relationships of convenience or romance, not, 3rd house, not 5th house. We're talking 7th house, basically the energy of marriage, one-on-one business, like contracts, those kind of things, that type of energy. So it's very serious. Okay. So it's going to pan out in many different ways for each one of you. Okay. So let's have a look at the big picture, okay? Just the big picture, just the energy, especially when it regards love and healing, okay? Because that's what we do on this channel. We're all about the healing power of love, okay? Thank you, Taurus. So here we go. We are well shuffled. Let's see what happens, okay? I like to really break up the cards so that there aren't any clusters, so everything's really clear. This is your heart energy, right from the very core. You might not have any language right now. It's just that pulsing core, limbic energy, the lizard brain, whatever they call it. It's just that raw thing that keeps us going. And it's at the root of everything, all right? This is like history, legacy energy, baggage, the past. It's what you're bringing in with you, okay? We live through this thing, this phenomenon called time. So in this thing called time of December, we're living through the ever-present now. Just like this, just like all of us, Taurus, same thing for everybody, okay? And it's in that now that you make your decisions or not. Okay, you have the right to decide not to decide. That's your privilege. But the more you exercise your right to decide, the more you be a participant in your own life, in your own outcome, and the own manifesting your own world, as opposed to letting life come at you and then you react. That's kind of an abdication of responsibilities. All right, so when you make these life decisions here, whether it's a little one to go to the grocery store or not, or a big one to be with this person or not. We make these decisions in the way that's most loving for us. Okay, that's how we do this. So this is going to help here. And this would be like the outcome, so to speak, of decisions, the energy that would naturally come through the laws of attraction. If you're more about like reacting to life, then this might feel more like fate. This is the energy of what if, because when you are here making these decisions in the now, there's always that sensation of risk and reward. Like, what if it works out? Wow. What if it doesn't work out? Uh-oh, what if I made the wrong decisions, as shown by evidence? Let's see. So that's that energy there. And this would be more like the momentum of where does this go? So can you see we're trying to do a heart here? Can you see that shape? I'm trying to make it as clear for you as possible. And this is you at the pulsing core, all right? And everything comes from there. For the Tarot Illumination channel, this all moves like this. It is a flow, okay? And underneath here, this is what I think of as the weather, circumstantial energy that is like, surrounding you, just like weather, and you're going to make the best of it. So here we go. Okay, so we've got the 6 of Cups. Okay, I don't know why I'm all choking up here a little bit, Taurus, but I am. And I feel this is very much to do with past life and past life relationships and the energy of relationships coming into clarity and what is dear to you and everything that you hold dear with those 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 people in your world, so to speak, the ones who love you and the ones that you love, on the understanding that we all have history, we all have baggage, we're all loaded up with shadows, we're all loaded up with failings and flaws and weaknesses, and we're all loaded up with our talents and our gifts, and we all have to make the best of it, okay, circumstantially. And so this energy here, my feeling is it's an indication that you're in the environment right now where you're getting a very clear awakening of um, the people in your world. Who are they? Where do they come from? Why are they in your life now? Why are you in their lives now? And of course, that would make sense because of the Jupiter and Scorpio transit. It's kind of a big deal. These things will be very magnified and amplified. Let's have a look at the heart core, okay? So you might be stressing about these matters. As beautiful as it is, the energy of Jupiter and Scorpio is, let's say, expansive and big. And it can be very polarizing because it is your, technically speaking, in astrology, your solar opposite. That's the maximum polarity. That's that point where all of us have a polarity point. Okay, and it's all emphasized in different ways in different people's nature or profile or even their astrology charts, for example. And it's that particular aspect of relationship where it's the full-on 180 degree. If you look at the circular chart, for example, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not a conjunction. It's a full-on maximum polarity separation. It's like standing in front of a full-length mirror that is crystal clear and there's nowhere to go. And the beauty of that is clarity. You find out, assuming you're with the right people in the right place at the right time for the right reasons, then the beauty of this is taking it as this amazing gift, the great benefic Jupiter, and the ultimately highest vibrational frequencies of Jupiter and Scorpio, which is all about deep soul, profound vibrational energy healing, transformational healing at the deep soul level. And so it might be quite scary in some ways, Taurus, because of all the, let's say, the most very most deeply buried issues that come to the surface when there's a maximum stark clear reflection facing you face on like this, okay? But the beauty, of course, here is the awakening. Very, very much about awakening, because if you realize that deep in your heart is sensing and pulsing and very, very much alive with this energy, and it's aware of its pain. It's aware of its own pain and suffering and its own losses and how it's all contained in the self, as reflected back by a significant other, some form of dearly beloved significant other who is here for you, who are here, multiple people who are all here for you now in this life at this moment, this little time period here we call December, to act as mirrors for you. So please, please take full advantage of this because you're getting multiple reflections from multiple people uh, that are ultimately very important for you to know. And of course, like a lot of us, uh, we notice the problems. We realize, oh my gosh, there's a zit over there. Oh my God, one eye is bigger than the other. Oh my gosh, like my hair's falling out. Or oh my gosh, I've put on weight. Or oh my gosh, I'm much cooler than I thought I was. And people said things, whatever it is that comes at you. But a lot of the times it's what's not working that really, really strikes us. And it strikes us most vividly at those points of maximum polarity. Okay. So don't be scared of this. Please treat this as a gift, the gift of divine reflection. Okay. Bringing in with you. Okay. So with the moon here, this is like it's all, my feeling is that it's, you understand this and you accept it, the feeling of being, perhaps being weirded out, freaked out by all of this, but knowing that it is for your ultimate benefit, almost like a, what's that word? A, not a hazing. I play with that word hazing when we do the Sunday night shows. It's that indoctrination, that uh, that where you're being brought in. It's like when you join a union or something, if you're an employee or something like that, or where you are joining a new school or college or starting a new course. It's like you have to go through this. It's like, some people take it very seriously, like these serious hazing events, or, go through these grueling social challenges, which aren't part of the actual process of integrating with one's world, but they happen anyway. You know how you become the new person at the school, new person at the office, the new so and so in this new environment where uh, you might have been conducting a life just fine, but you're entering a new world where things can be a little disorienting, where the only guidance that you have is your deepest soul intuition here, and you have to face forward and move into that, and you're bringing that fear in with you, but you're also bringing in that divine intuition with you too. So both are happening and working at the same time. It's almost like that feeling when you do get in front of the mirror and you see the first glimpse is like, oh no, I'm seeing what's not working, what's not cool about Taurus. But then you're also realizing this is the only way to find out what really, really works about Taurus. So it's a very beautiful thing. And you've got plenty of time to do this. So you don't have to like freak out and run away. It's on the understanding that uh, Taurus is going through almost like an initiation, being brought in, like what they do when you join a union. You start at a factory and they won't let you work beyond a certain category unless you join a union, and then you kind of have to be brought in. You have to be like vetted and observed and become qualified, and somebody has to give you the yes, that okay, you are welcome, you are in, we have chosen you, we want you to join, you're with us. So it feels to me like you're walking into this vortex where that there's going to be that squeeze feeling where the best of you is going to be exposed and the worst of you is going to be exposed, but there's no way out of it. And that's beautiful because you need to know all of it. So I'm happy for you, Taurus, that you have the courage to do this. It relies very much on your deepest gut intuitions. No matter how scary it gets, it's a very, very beautiful thing, and you know that deep down. So in the present, in the moment, in the now, okay, it's almost like you know this already, okay? This is a very, very clear intellectual understanding of exactly what is going on. You're not just like floating around like a lost cork in the ocean here, no. And you're not just living as a victim, like, oh, woe is me, oh, is me. You are, it's like you are very, very acutely aware of what's actually happening here. And like, yeah, in the darkness of the night, all these fears and anxieties may show up, but it's also a very clear awakening that you have to go through this process in order to evolve and grow. And so, because there is a journey here, I don't know if you can see clearly here at all, but can you see the little roadway? It really is a journey coming out of the pool of, let's say, creation over here and moving through all these scary ritualistic initiation ceremonies, which are ceremonial, okay? Nothing really, really bad's going to happen. You're just going to be exposed to what could. Um, and that's scary. So what happens is it's like, okay, I get it. I understand. It's an initiation. I have to live through this. It's going to be fine, and it's happening through the process of divine reflection. So it is a beautiful gift, and it allows you to, like, physiologically in your body, in your heart, in your physical body, to experience all the fears and everything as they ripple through you, and that like wakes you up, and you think, aha, I understand all of this. I understand what all of this is, and equally, I know that there's all the good stuff too inside me. And so it's like a filtering and refining process, okay? And so because the Jupiter and Scorpio thing with Neptune and Pisces and all that, it's a very, very powerful vortex right now for healing. The healing power of love that's actually occurring through this Jupiter Scorpio transit is actually very, very deeply supported by the big fat trine between Jupiter and Neptune over the next year, on and off, in and out. So it's a very good way to move on and understand, okay? Making the decisions. Sorry, I'm getting carried away here, Taurus. I don't know why it's going so much that way. Making decisions under understanding that this is you and your life, and you're making your decisions that work for you. And yes, of course, you're aware of your people. You are very, very deeply aware of your people, your tribe, your family, your heritage, your past, your loved ones, those that you love, those who love you. And yet there's you on your own, realizing that when it comes to making decisions about how your new life is going to evolve from here onwards, at this period of stark awakening, stark reflection. We've just come out of the Scorpio season, so that might have been a bit choppy for you, Taurus, but we're heading into a full year of Jupiter in Scorpio. So it's a long-term trajectory, okay? And it's on the understanding that you are the only one who can figure this out. You have to be willing to go deep within through this initiation ceremony, through this divine awakening, through divine reflection, to be able to figure out what are the decisions that you, Taurus, have to make. So how are we going to do that most effectively so that you are loving yourself as much as possible, which of course is the best for everyone else. So you do that judiciously, okay? Almost through diligent observation. You don't have to treat yourself completely as a science experiment, but it really, really helps to be very, very clear right now, Taurus. Very, very aware, like finding ways to, it's almost like deliberately finding ways to move through the shadow areas of things that confuse you or scare you, that come at you through the process of reflection, and understand that there are messages there, and these messages need to be known and understood, and they are it's like justice being served, so to speak, where this is actually a harmonizing, coming into balance, because it makes you starkly aware of what doesn't work and starkly aware of what does work, because with all these swords over here, these represent the energies of the good stuff that you are salvaging and refining and distilling and moving on through the decision-making process, leaving behind what doesn't work, bringing forward and carrying with you what does work. Okay, like taking a backpack, like say you have to go on a big trip, but you could only take a few things. It's like one of those TV shows. Here's the catch. You're only allowed one small backpack. What are you going to take with you? You're going to take what works. You're not going to bring anything that doesn't work, okay? So what would this bring? Okay, so see, that is the most self-loving act you can do. That's learning how to make deliberate decisions that are purely based on you honoring your true self here, understanding the message that are pulsing through you from your heart and being reflected back to you through the process of divine reflection in relationship. This is not a relationship reading, by the way. I just want to remind you, but we're touching on it simply because of the massive Jupiter and Scorpio phenomenon for the next year. So what happens is when you do take the courage to go as deep within as it's humanly possible to go as a physical being, making the decisions that you know you need to make, you calling out the justice on yourself, being your own authority, realizing that you have to make those decisions, and there's no going back. You're being guided to go this way, no matter if you don't see it. And what happens is, it's a way of removing yourself from the battlefield of conflict, of trying to make things work that don't work, trying to battle through things that are redundant, where the battle's already lost and it's not worth doing it anymore, just trying to get along. It's okay to put down the weapons, put down the swords, put down and leave all of these things behind that don't work, and just say, you know what, it's not working. I don't need this anymore, because I like to be happy and feel good and love myself. And the way you do that is by stopping the habits and behaviors and decisions that lead to self-undoing, and instead make concrete decisions from deep within that lead to love of self, okay? Which ultimately allows you to be more loving towards others and allows more love to come to you from others. It's a very, very welcoming, very well-deserved energy. It is a process. This isn't going to happen overnight. I feel this reading has kind of a long-term trajectory, and it's going to pan out over time. Where does this take us? Okay, so making these profound decisions from deep within, where you answer only to your soul, okay, not to conventions, not to what everyone else's opinions might be, or obligations, or role playing that might have gone. We're talking about honoring the deepest self of the soul and doing it at the highest level of authority, trusting very deeply that you are guided in this process. You are guided and protected in this process. What if it all works out? Okay, it puts you in the, let's say, the front lines of doing and being who you have to be in order to endure this journey through December and beyond. Okay, knowing that you do have the skills and, let's say, the ultimate wisdom and knowledge to be able to get through this, even though it might be a challenge for you, because we're always evolving and growing, and at this time you might be pushed to the very maximum limits of your capacities to evolve and grow, especially when it comes to the process of decision making at the deepest, most profound soul level, because it has huge impacts on the material level in the way your life manifests outwardly. So of course, if we make decisions that fail or we abdicate our decisions, then what happens is it becomes very, very hard to maintain your position and hold your stature and hold your dignity. Okay? So that's a little scary. But of course, that's not going to happen. You are deeply loved, Taurus, so don't worry about it. You are going to get the reflections that you need, and you're going to figure it out. Where does this take us? Okay, wow. It's like a rekindling. Like once you understand the process, once you understand how like the energy of love is pulsing deeply, deeply in your world at the most primal levels where you can feel it in the land, in the nature around you. You are a Taurus person. You're very, very close to the world. You are deeply wedded to the to life, to it's like itself, the butterflies, the plants, the stars, the clouds, like the air, the weather, the sensations of the body, the joys of the body, the sorrows of the body, the beauty of our foods and our physical body, and all of that. And once you understand on a much deeper soul level about how the decision-making process works out and affects everyone around you in the long term, how you can basically deliver love to yourself by decision. Okay, that can be very, very exciting. It can actually trigger very, very, let's say, it's almost like ecstatic, where you can't help expressing yourself at this kind of level, where you feel the joy, the passion. It's like once you click and you realize, oh, damn, now I figure out, and now I get it. I see what they're talking about at Tarot Lumination. Total nut jobs over there, but I kind of get it in that reading. It's a real turn on. You realize, oh my gosh, you can be the source of your own happiness and joy by trusting your deepest decisions that honor yourself. It's all about loving yourself, because that's what works for everybody else, because they're all here for you to help you figure that out. Okay, because one day they're going to need that reflection from you. And that's kind of what soulmate energy is all about. How we make these like invisible secret soul contracts with each other to be there for each other no matter what. When the time comes, when we need each other, when you need them, when they need you. Okay, Taurus? So I hope you get something out of this. Do the routine, do your sun, moon, rising, do your cross-watching for people that you love, all of that kind of stuff, and then reinterpret however you want. Okay? Thanks. Bye-bye, Taurus. All the best. Oh, let me just put this here just for fun. I forgot to do that with all the other readings. Sorry. Anyway, you got lucky. Bye.